For me, there are two. It's Dembele and Raphinha. Lamine Yamal is wonderful, and at 17, nobody scored 4 goals in the Champions League, and his influence just cannot measure in its stats. It's the kind of guy you have to watch. You have to go and watch. Get a plane, go and watch him, and keep an eye on him, because he does things that depresses the rival. He chooses sometimes the way he put the ball not to the outside of Fermin, but to the inside in his run. Perfectly calculated. It was just absolutely wonderful.
Who deserves the Ballon d'Or more? Raphinha, 63% of you thought, and Lamine Yamal with 36%. No Robert Lewandowski as well, even in our own poll. Guillem, anyway, how about the game? How good were Barca tonight?
Well, the first half was a Champions League game in which obviously Barcelona didn't want to make any mistakes. They tried to control matters. In the last 10 minutes of the first half, you could see that Barcelona had decided to go and score another goal, when perhaps it would have been better to go through Pedri and De Jong and not provoke the gaps that Borussia Dortmund started finding and thinking, yeah, we could do something here. But in the second half, as soon as they came on, again, I thought normal team, right, would have gone, yeah, let's slow down, let's see where the gaps are, let's build from here. No, it was like ball to Lamine, cross to Raphinha, header, and Lewandowski scores the second goal. And after that, that was it. Barcelona felt that they felt the sense, the smell, the blood, and they went for more, for the third, for the fourth. I just spoken to Lewandowski, and I asked him about the Ballon d'Or, if you remind me later. But I thought it must be so enjoyable to be in a pitch where everybody thinks the same way, number one. But the way the thing is, attack, attack, attack. Yet, when they don't have the ball, they still have to do a job, which they all do, almost enjoying it as well. Lewandowski stole one of the possession to Borussia Dortmund for the third goal. So everybody is at it. He feels very young because he's surrounded by kids, even though he's told me he hasn't done a dance with Lamine yet, because after all, they're like 18 years difference. But in any case, this is a group that get on really well. As I said, they think the same way. Had a little chat with Hansi Flick, and he's happy that everything is working, but knowing that no mistake can be allowed in the Champions League. And to be honest, today, there was hardly any from Barcelona.
Yeah, back to the Ballon d'Or conversation, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but if Barcelona wins the triplete, Copa, La Liga, Champions League, we could be talking about, like in 2010, a podium, the 1, 2, 3 being all Barcelona players. Before it was Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, and now it could be Lamine Yamal, Raphinha, Lewandowski. I asked you, Guillem, earlier today that this is the best Barcelona team since, and you said that 2015 team that won it all. Who impressed you the most today?
Today, let me say what Lewandowski said when I asked him about if you had to give a vote, who would you give it to? Raphinha, Lamine Yamal, and then I did a dramatic pause. He was waiting like for the third name, me, and he's like, and Lewandowski, and you as well. And basically he's like, no, it's not time to talk about the Ballon d'Or. And he was making a very good point, which you already raised. Let them win the competitions, the league, right, the Champions League, and then we'll be talking certainly about something like that. Tell me who else you can put in that list. Perhaps Raphinha, Dembele for sure. So those in my eyes, the way it's going in a PSG Barcelona final, those are the 5 names that will be fighting for it. But on top of all of them, for me there are 2. It's Dembele and Raphinha. Lamine Yamal is wonderful, and at 17, nobody scored 4 goals in the Champions League, and his influence just cannot measure in its stats. It's the kind of guy you have to watch. You have to go and watch. Get a plane, go and watch him, and keep an eye on him, because he does things that depresses the rival. He chooses sometimes the way he put the ball not to the outside of Fermin, but to the inside in his run. Perfectly calculated. It was just absolutely wonderful. But that wouldn't count as an assist, pre-assist maybe, less sexy. He's absolutely influential. That's true. And Lewandowski is scoring goals and feeling young again. He's got 40 already in the league, which is extraordinary. But the goal involvements of Raphinha, the leadership, the consistency in the season puts him ahead of both of them. And I think Dembele is at the level of Raphinha. So I've been hearing a lot in England. I wanted to discuss this with you earlier, but we didn't have the time. That there is talk of, football is too robotic now, and it's all about structure and how teams, positional game. Come on, watch Barcelona. Come on, go and watch PSG. Football is in a wonderful state at the moment.
Guillem, I 100% agree with you. Everything that you said about Lamine Yamal there, I second that. He's a footballer for the eyes and not for the stats board. And I do agree as well, in England it is true. Football in England, mostly in the Premier League, is becoming too robotic. And this is why we've had this conversation and said Barcelona is one of the best and most entertaining sides to watch in world football. Looking ahead to the second leg, Guillem, do you give Borussia Dortmund any chance whatsoever?
Let me say, first of all, that when you wear that shirt, and I can see it now, all eyes go on you. You had now a shot of the four of you, but we had your eyes on you. So I think you should keep that style.
Guillem,
let's have a word.
This is nothing new with me. It's always been all eyes on me. Tupac, all eyes on me, it's fine.
Fair enough, fair enough. I spoke to Nico about this. Do you start the second leg right now? Because it's in 6 days, it's the Tuesday one. And he said, no, I walked into the changing room and what I saw was a team that needed to rest mentally, physically. They needed to talk amongst each other. I will talk it to them tomorrow. They, of course, got Bayern Munich in Bundesliga, and they're on their way up after a couple of good wins to become perhaps one of the top 4 sides in the Bundesliga. They're only 4 points away from Mainz and 4th. So that perhaps will be the focus. But he said, when you make so many mistakes, and against a side like Barcelona, it's so hard to come back from that. I don't think it was like you hear in Real Madrid right now, oh, we're going to come back, this is going to happen, we're going to score 6 goals, whatever. There's none of that from Nico because he knows the limits of the side. And a side that, of course, the axis of it, the heart of it, was out because of suspension or injury. So I think it's about the Bundesliga now for Borussia Dortmund, because Barcelona are going to go to Dortmund. And they want to score again and win. That's what they made of. That's their makeup now.
Guillem, good to see you. I'll tell you what, I'm going to make you a bet. And if I lose, you send me one of those $400 shirts. Borussia Dortmund's going to qualify in this one.
So, should I send that already? Is that what you're saying?
We'll see. It's not over yet. But if I lose, you send me one of those shirts.